bush foods are making their way into mainstream Australian culture, the Indigenous Australian Foods Association, along with Robbins Foods, is trying to ensure that Aboriginal communities retain control of their own products. Warngunditj Cooperative in Warrnambool, Australia, is one of many Aboriginal communities keeping traditions of the outback alive.
My name is Michael Harden. We're taking a helicopter ride down to Warrnambool in the bush on the south-west coast of Victoria.
Hello, Michael.
Hi, Julie.
Great to see you.
How are you going? Good to see you.
How are you?
Robbins Food is a good company that are doing really interesting things. They're directly helping the Aboriginal communities in Australia establish strong commercial networks.
We're in Tower Hill, which is State Game Reserve, and Warngunditj are the managers of this reserve. Most people think of the outback, I suppose, as more the desert, but in fact the outback is really anywhere outside of urban Australia. Jamie? Very deep.
My name is Jamie Thomas. My clan is called Crowatungalang, and I'm here today to help prepare some traditional foods, traditional methods, and share it with everybody out there. We might find some mushrooms, hey? A couple of ladies up here having a feed.
We created a company called Indigenous Australian Foods Limited, which is a non-profit company.
Yeah, the Indigenous Australian Food Association is a partnership of Aboriginal and non-Aboriginal people working together where we have Indigenous peoples from across Australia collecting and wild harvesting bush foods.
It's a way of surviving.
Yep.
You can actually eat it to survive.
Uncle Rob is an elder in our community, and his responsibility is to teach young people about our culture.
Give a slight squeeze. When the seed pops out, that's when they are ripe to eat.
And what does it taste like?
Oh.
Like a kiwi fruit,
Yep.
passion fruit,
Okay.
with a pinch of salt.
Before you pick your mushrooms, you give them a tap. And what that does is it releases all the spores. It's like farming, I suppose. You'll actually have mushrooms for next year as well.
So what have we got out here so far?
Interesting things in the centre, Rosella.
Yeah.
It's a bit like raspberry rhubarb. It's quite sharp, but the colour's fantastic.
All of the native foods in Australia, because they're genetically pure, they're all very small. Most food that we eat has been hybridised and bred to be bigger and juicier and plumper, whereas Aboriginals never did that with food. So all the plants we're using are pretty much what they were, 30, 40,000 years ago.
There's quandong, which is a native peach apricot sort of a flavour, slightly little bit of cinnamon in there. And the Kakadu plum's got the highest vitamin C content of any fruit on the planet.
Wow.
We've actually got the native spinach here growing. Our people used to make stone houses and used to grow this native spinach on the roof. So it's like growing your vegetables on your rooftop, not unlike in New York, so...
When you compare this to, I suppose, traditional French cuisine, it's the Indigenous version of en papillote, isn't
That's
it?
right, and we'll actually put this in the coals over there. Just in there.
Seed there?
Yeah,
That's the one
those
there.
ones up there. Yeah.
Wattle seed has always been a traditional Indigenous food source. It's the one plant that grows throughout the whole continent.
So you can actually see on the pods there, those seeds will roast and all the flavours will be released.
It's got almost like a nutty sort of
flavour.
cinnamony.
You use that in traditional bread.
So you actually get a big rock mortar and pestle, grind them up. I'm making wattle seed damper. It's like a bread. And we're going to cook this in coals.
What sort of oil are you using?
This is emu oil.
Actual oil from the emu?
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of like a brand name.
No, it's a lot thicker and darker.
Wow.
I've actually marinated some mushrooms in the emu oil and red pepper, so that'll accompany the kangaroo. Excuse me, bush spatula there.
That flesh is all nice and soft.
That looks fantastic.
Just pulls away from the bone.
Go, fingers. Oh,
Really lemony, garlicky.
that is beautiful, Jamie.
Oh, it's so tender. Perfect.
Perfect.